Okay, right, apologies, I forgot to hit the go live button there. Okay, fortunately I believe it does actually backdate the stream, so apologies to those if you are you should be getting a backdated stream in a second. I suddenly thought I'd check that. Okay, not too much, I only just did the starting battle. We've only just... Apologies there for the slight delay to the stream start then. I really hate that go live button, it's just so poorly placed. YouTube should have a direct thing saying you're not live. As long as you can start the stream and then YouTube gives you a preview before you start, with not telling you the stream is live. Okay, now it is. Right, so fortunately it will backdate the stream. I believe it, because I was streaming that, it will actually backdate it to the earlier section, so you should be able to rewind and watch the start if you want. Right, so what I'm going to do, we just had these characters join in this battle, and I've got these guys here, so what we want to make sure to do is I need to merge these forces. Now, these forts will heal my characters if they're holding them, and give me a tactical advantage, but 4 guys against 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, yeah, basically an awful lot of them. You're over double. I need to group all the main forces. The other thing is I need to get hold of that fort as quickly as possible, so I'm going to run these guys backwards. None of you can't attack. You can't attack. You can't attack. Pegasus might do, but Pegasus is going to be... I'm a bit careful with Pegasus. Pegasus normally have a nasty habit of... yeah. Really need to get the sword guys in to maximise the damage. Now, these guys are actually pretty poor hits. Usually later on, you're pretty much guaranteed every character that attacks your guys will largely take damage. I want to try, and the archer guy, I want to make sure he avoids people that throw and attack back, because right now the archer's defense will mean he will take an out. Usually most archers take an absolute, take one hit and suddenly their health bar is gone, so you do have to be really careful with that. Now the trouble I've got is this fort guy is going to be the one problem. He's going to be the one that takes an absolute beating to get through. Yes, just to mention again, apologies, the aspect ratio is actually slightly wrong because I used the high fidelity mode. Unfortunately, Elgato doesn't allow you to, the way OBS is set up, you can't, basically, it's running via 4.3, so in order to get into proper 16:9 widescreen that will give me the proper GBA ratio, I need to put it into 16:9, even though it's currently running at 4.3, but I can't quite adjust it via the OBS setup. So I'll next time, because the high fidelity version of the Game Boy Player does that automatically, next time I'll just simply put it as the standard version. So I think I've just got, actually I'll get her to visit, these guys to visit houses, and get some items. Basically, you always want to visit the towns and the shops to buy gear, etc. Can he visit shops? Probably not, as he can. Or maybe he can. It's only worth visiting every house, and in quite a few Fire Emblem games, visiting set houses with set characters will reward you with specific items, or even new party members to aid you in your journey. Oh, you actually go to multiple. Yeah, so I need to really lock down the forts as quickly as possible, because the forts can spawn troops as well. Now that's what I've got to watch. Pegasus there is quite weak to damage, so he needs to be moved into a safety area as quickly as possible. So we've got control of this fort. I'm going to move this guy here. Use the bronze sword for now. Some lovely animation on the GBA. I will say the Game Boy Advance really has some fantastic animation. I know they could have done this on the SNES as well, which is, well, the thing. The original Fire Emblem games actually had quite dull animation. This is some really lovely character sprite work, and some really bright and lovely characters that are really interesting to look at in combat. Certainly a bit more interesting some of the more recent games, which can be a bit dry and dull. Basically, I'll get her to look at all the houses. Oh, she's got a sword. Okay, I need to give that to someone. I need to get her to give that to the cargo guy. I have a feeling that one's there's the armory, so I can't do much. I need to get my healer down as well, so this is the issue I've got. I need to. So Pegasus Boy there's already taking a beating. Let's move him back there for now. Move Roy to the fort. He should usually heal up in the fort, so guys, formation. I might have to take him up there just so I can get the healer girl down here quicker and take advantage of the rescue function. The rest of them I will leave in their current positions. So you see that axe guys have a real advantage against spear guys, and so I can deliver heavy damage because of the Trinity weapon system. So as mentioned, sword is strong against axe, axe is strong against lance, lance is strong against sword. And there's Roy being healed up, so that's actually really helpful. So I'll send her to there. I will send him to pick her up. And let's take our... So I'm quickly down to this door. Oh! So she is... No, I don't want to wear this. Bye-bye. So she's a heal store. Put him there. Put him... Right, now, Roy should stay there. Put him there. This is what I mean about block formations. You always want to move as a block, so that way you can avoid being attacked from all angles. The worst position you can ever have is a character, say, there, and then he'll get attacked by all sides. You will be just asking for a character to be instantly killed if that happens. I want to keep this wagon as far back from the field as possible. I believe he can carry items and supplies, because if I have him too far forward, he will just get slaughtered. You do need to be wary, they will send range characters in as well. The AI does, like you see there, it's all of them picking on the same character. So if you have a character that is weak to that type of weapons and all of a sudden they all pick on them, it's good night Vienna for that character. So as much as I need to... Roy, you really do. Your Lord is always the primary character to get leveled up. Right now I need to make sure he's well healed. His time will come in battle later. But you do want to make sure he's always getting some kills in every mission. Never try and avoid getting your Venerary character kills. You want to make sure. Because because he's the paladin, he's already promoted, he's not going to be the best character. Usually those, as I said, usually those pre-promoted paladins, some of the weakest characters once leveled up because they're already promoted. I think there's 1 or 2 games where they're still really powerful. Dangerous doing this. Ooh, it's gonna hurt. Oh, not too bad. Actually, the enemies are really quite easy in this one so far. They're really quite expecting much more hard on it. We do actually have, if you want to see a couple of the other Fire Emblem games, I do have videos of Krakar 776 and the original, well, the third one on SNES, but I'm showing the original campaign. We did a couple of missions we got. Stick them together so we can walk with into a fort. Basically, forts give you a real tactical advantage. So mountains are great because they prevent characters from moving over them. I want to try and occupy the forts because A, they heal, and B, give you a huge tactical advantage in combat. The terrain you are sitting on is always, so you see there, this is plain ground. You get no defense or avoid. Here we've got defense 1, 20 avoid. Fort gives you 2 defense, 20 avoid, and heals you. And mountains give you 2 defense if you can get only Pegasus characters to get on mountains. There are other terrains, I think. Yes, so defense 3 at the castle and 20. I'm not sure about villages, they give you defense. Or 10 avoid, yes, so don't give you much. Oh, there's the armory. Didn't actually go to the armory. I think at this stage I'm not too worried about equipment, I just want to get the gold. And on top of just absolutely mullering that guy, he'll get healed as well at the end of the round. Now the archers probably keep playing. He's got throwing axes. Move him into position. Move him to attack there, they will all come down and attack him. So as much as I want to kill this guy, I need my whole team to move him. And I'm always very... yeah, I'll move basically because right now I can't move entirely as a unit, so this next turn I will. Keep the caravan there as well, and the paladin can stay there as well. Now do need to keep an eye on your character's equipment. The last thing you want is the character's equipment to break and then they can't use anything. But this is the ideal thing that I wanted to happen. So they've moved in to attack my guys. My guy's now in good positions to counter, so he should be able to attack. Okay, so that just 2 points is not a great level up, I must admit. Or you can go in and attack this guy. Now, one of the big problems with the Fire Emblem is the death system, because as I mentioned, basically if you lose a character, most Fire Emblem vets will just restart. What they actually need to do is something a bit more interesting. Rather than have a death system, is have something where the whole game is, how I would say, time-based, where characters, rather than being killed, would actually be injured and then have to heal up. Basically, they'd be out of action at some sort of medical tent being healed up. And what you could do with that is, if you were really smart, and this is probably perhaps a bit more complex than what intelligent systems can actually do, because some have largely stuck to a very similar format, is have a game where effectively the enemy forces are moving across the world at the same time. So if you lose characters and they've got to spend weeks out of action, the enemy forces can take over different places or move to different areas. That would really give you a dynamicism in the series, what it probably needs to really evolve it. So that way veterans would still get their rock hard game, where if you want the very best ending, you've got to make sure you don't lose anyone and get to X location before X, Y and Z occurs and things like that. But you could have a whole progressing campaign. It's something I actually thought about for a while, because I do love these tactical RPGs, but I just think the Fire Emblem series has just faltered a few times. Okay, this is gonna... yeah, that's not good. He's gonna get 2 attacks, I suspect. So I am playing on the Game Boy Advance player. I am using the homebrew software, the Game Boy Interface player, which can be played. You do need an SD card to use, but it is a really nice bit of kit, I have to admit. And it actually gives you a much nicer Game Boy Advanced emulation. Well, basically it gives you Game Boy Advance that uses the player, but it basically gives you better software in effect for playing games. Not the Game Boy Advance isn't... Game Boy Advance player doesn't emulate, it actually plays them, but the official software, unfortunately, was never actually that good. It could have been better, should we say. And Nintendo never did an update. In fact, they did the player, and then they didn't really update the software or anything, and they could have updated the software. There were a few games, even at the time, I remember a few people when it first came out saying, oh, the player's a little bit buggy, some of these issues don't occur in an actual hardware. And even the Game Boy, the Super Game Boy on the SNES had a similar issue. They even did an updated firmware for the Super Game Boy. I should actually check the stats. So. Level 5, he's level 2. He's promoted, so I want to avoid him. He's 1, he's 3, well, he's 3, which is a good level. I think she's 2, is he level 1? Not sure how you actually level up the caravan. He's nearly level up, so I'm going to try and get. And throw a spear, yes, let's throw a spear. So he doesn't get the a sword advantage on me, because if I use a sword he would have an advantage for countering, because of course the Trinity system. So you do need to factor in, you don't, last thing you want to do is charge a guy with a sword into 3 or 4 knights with spears, because that's going to end badly. Same with an axe guy, you don't want to charge him into a sword company. And again, you don't want to charge lances into dwarfs. Now they did introduce a Trinity system for the magic and a few other systems in some of the later games. Devastate that guy with a super, and I didn't actually want to do that because that's the paladin who I didn't really want to give the XP to, but I need to get Pegasus chap here needs some XP, so how are we holding up? My healer as well, but I really want to preserve. Early on you really want to conserve the magic wands because often you don't get them again for some time. So you can use that bigger sword. Now the Pegasus here guy, he's got a spear. Okay, he's got a spear, so I have the worst 2 guys to fight him. So he's weak to him with the axe, and he's weak. Pegasus flying enemies are weak to archers as well, just to add insult to injury. So I can't exactly use him to attack either of them unless I can get in close to the archer who can't attack at range, who can't attack in close combat. So it's a bit of a weird thing. In Shining Force, they could actually attack at close range archers, but in this, archers have a limited range where they can't attack at point blank. Well, it seems weird because archers should always really have a secondary knife weapon or something to attack at close combat. Put Roy in there. Okay, E. I'm not expecting him to do that much damage actually. Okay, yeah, let's get Pegasus. Okay, I will. I've got horse guys. Yes, he can attack the archer. I don't really want to use Paladin, but I'm a bit concerned about Roy, seeing as this guy. this is the guy I've got to watch. Stats. Attack 10. Basically, the dwarfs are going to be strong to him, but he's actually got spear. Yeah, but I just want to make sure I'm not about to suddenly charge. Because usually these guys are absolute. These guys can be quite bad, quite hefty titans. So. So you do need to heal up your heal, basically get XP with your healers. It's just knowing when and where to level from there. Okay, what that tells me, so I wasn't, yeah, that's, they've both got the same weapon, that's a spear, so he can throw. So I need to be really careful when this guy, basically I need to attack this guy in one turn to make sure he goes out. Maybe a bit risky putting them, because he may, yeah. Risky, he's going to throw it at him. Oh yes, this is armor breaker, so that's why it's flashing, so this is going to do massive damage to him. Okay, this is where she's really going to earn her keep, because this guy is going to... It's really risky for this guy, it's incredible. He can do nothing here. I have a real thing, I needed that armor guy to hit, so especially with the armor breakers. It's still do 11 damage, isn't it? Okay, he can take it at 211 damage, which is good because yeah, if I put my archer there, he will get slaughtered in one turn, basically. I don't think you can hurt the guy. This is one thing you tend to get, is you'll tend to get bosses that are often basically utterly overpowered. Now, you're obviously meant to use my chappy here with the armor breaker. The trouble is, he needs to heal up on it, so I need to put him there. Don't rescue. And you heal him. Now this is what I hate about some of the bosses. Often you basically have to use your paladin to kill them early on because no one else can hurt them. As you're seeing there, just about every character I'm throwing at it is just getting miss. Yeah, there's not even any point. So it's got HP 17. The second figure there is the damage down is, so I think 45% to hit, 3% is at luck. But basically I can do 0 damage, so there really is no more point in him being there. I might just avoid him not taking a chance of damage. So yeah, my Stalwart Knight there is able to take an absolute beating. Oh, that's a really good level up as well. I'm trying to see if I can get my armor breaker dude in there. This is the weapon that's strong to 39% chance. Come on, this is strong to you. This is an armor breaker. Yay! And there we go. Ooh, another nice level up. So all I can do, usually these sort of wrap-ups, these are great ways to head back to the armory to heal up. So basically, often you have to move to the castle to take the mission, so great chance, heal up, catch up on any hidden characters if you need to talk to people in villages or items, and then just wrap up with your moving stuff around before heading your lord into there. So I'm not actually going to do anything, I'm just going to wrap straight up. I mean, as a Fire Emblem game, if you played the second one on Game Boy Advance or the third one, which both did get European releases, you know what you're expecting with this. In fact, this was basically, but the other two will use this one's graphics engine. What you have is a really nice, well-presented, well-polished game. I mean, I think some people can, I think there were some complaints about this one. I can't remember if people said it was too easy or whether there was something or other. But I always felt this was like quite a good one for the GBA because I think they were trying to sort of get more recognition of the series at this point because the original Fire Emblem games are all just brutally hard. And you really have to be a proper strategy fan to enjoy them. I mean, I do love every single game in the Fire Emblem series, but you do have to be a hard RPG fan to love some of them. I do like tactical RPGs, so I've always been a huge fan of them. Some people like to call this genre strategy, but it's not really. Strategy is more sort of command and conquer, where you have huge forces. This is tactical because you take everything's very tactically based. You're moving single units at a time. But yeah, I am a seasoned Fire Emblem player, so even though my Japanese is not particularly very good, I can recognise a few words these days. I know how to handle it. So again, we've got save. Let's say chapter 2, chapter 1. Cheers for all the likes, people. It's always nice to get your feedback on our videos. I'm glad everyone's enjoying this live stream. Apologies, it was a little bit late starting. I forgot to hit the go live button. In future, please do just leave a comment and say, have you hit go live? Because the comments was live and we were streaming, but it basically it's a weird thing. I think you should be able to see the start once we actually put the video, because I think it records everything from when you start streaming. I think it does. If not, we're going to miss this first battle. And just either technically I jumped in this midway through the first battle, so. But yes, if you do play this one, it's actually a good idea to really these days play the second GBA Fire Emblem, which was the Blazing Blades, just known as Fire Emblem in Europe, and then play this one, because story-wise that one comes first, then this one. The only thing worth noting is Nintendo of Europe were their typical fools, and basically they edited out the ending that links to this one. So the character here on the right, who's the main villain, is portrayed right at the end of Fire Emblem on the second one on GBA. They cut that sequence out in the European PAL version, which really annoys me. So basically, if you want a true ending, you need the second one. Oh, this is Hector. Oh, they're torturing poor Hector. He's the father of a couple of the other characters. He was another one of the playable characters in the second one. So yeah, basically, doesn't look in too good shape at the minute. But yeah, the ending for Fire Emblem on the GBA, which in Europe, they cut short in the PAL version. The US version is the full version, because I think the US version came out later, and I think they said, well, maybe we might release it, so they did include it. But for some reason, the PAL version was slightly edited, so the PAL version, I think they may even cut the scene out with the child version of Roy in it. So yeah, not very impressed with Nintendo of Europe at the time. Really, they deserve to do an apology and re-release the unedited version. It's just poor decisions like that that have really dented Nintendo's rep over the years. I'll just let these sequences play out. I'll just move through them swiftly, but we do have quite a lot of Japanese viewers on our channel, so I won't skip it that quickly in case some of the Japanese viewers would like to read and do this, because we do, of course, we're YouTube, so we do have viewers all over the world. In fact, ironically, the UK, despite we're based in the UK, is not actually our biggest viewer base. Okay, I believe this guy to the left is a thief character based on his attire. So obviously I assume we're going to be rescuing Hector in this mission. I think it's Hector. It's Hector or Eli, one of the two. Those are the three characters, Linda, Hector and Eli. I can't remember which one was Hector and which one was Eli. It's been such a long time since I played that one. They were the three main characters from Blazing Blade. Yes, quite pleased with that second battle. It's the first time I've actually done that, and no character lost as well. These early battles are usually pretty good for not losing characters, but Fire Emblem is a series that does punish for mistakes. So you make one mistake, you put a character out on his own, and he gets surrounded, boom, he's dead. Or she's dead. I must admit, although the death system does have one advantage, and that is it does introduce a level of tension that you don't get in the later games if you're playing on casual, because knowing you lose players does slightly change how you play. And that's the one thing I will say about the death system, although I don't like it that much because I think it's a bit stagnated now. It doesn't really add much, because I said Fire Emblem vets will just simply, if they lose a character, will just reboot the save. I know I do. If I lose a character, just reload the save and don't repeat the mistakes you made. We've got our thief guy who's going to be able to steal stuff, probably break locked doors. We have a village. Oh, got a town up there. I assume we've got to get. So we've got chests. That'll be for the thief. We've obviously got to get into here where our villain is probably having his. He's probably captured. We've got 2 villages. So, right. First off here, this caravan here is in the worst possible starting position. So we've got lancers there. They will. So let's get that out of the way. Absolutely appalling starting position. Now, how do I want to do this? Do I want to head north? Yeah, I suppose let me just check what's north and what's south in this mission. I've got one of the FAQs up just to read if there's anything interesting, hidden characters. Because nothing. One thing I hate about Fire Emblem is you miss an item, it means replaying the whole battle. So. Okay, supposedly we can actually recruit a character from one of those houses. So. I will get, so I need to send a couple of people up there because I've got 3 lancers and an archer. Lancers everywhere. I'm tempted to move my whole force north, but that would be, right, I need to leave some here. So, Thief's not going to be any good, he's going to be probably quite weak, so he's level 1. Yeah, he's got low stats. So I run him and he's going to get absolutely slaughtered. Let's move Pegasus, so actually I'll move Pegasus going. Pegasus there. One of the X guys up here. So that's 3 of them to deal with. Still gives me plenty of the guys. So, okay, my archer, now this is the thing you have to be wary of. Always check the range. I should have actually done that before I started, so I can know instantly that here my thief is in danger right now because we saw it there. I want to actually keep out of the archer's range, so he's there. He can go there. That'll stay out of the archer's range. Roy can go there. She can go behind them. Archer can go to there. Nope, I don't want to rescue. People come forward. I'm going to put him into the danger zone because he's strong to them. In there. And this guy was quite high leveled up as I recall, yeah, so let's bring him forward. So yeah, basically you do want to do a bait tactic sometimes. If you have a character who's strong to them, basically the character you put closest to them will often be the one the AI will go to. So the bait tactic is to put a character who is strong to the enemies that can attack you. Never ever bait with a weak character because that will get you instantly killed. The other thing, you do have to watch your Lord because they will, as in Shining Force 3 and Fire Emblem actually have similar AI, and the AI does like to go for the Lord character. And do remember, if you lose your Lord character, it's good night Vienna. will actually stay for a bit longer tonight because I slightly messed up the start of the stream, so... Here's another would-be adventurer. He's apparently in this house to the north, so I need to send characters north to recruit him where he doesn't get... to get him without getting killed. Okay. Oh god. And they were running... Okay, so we've got them. We still need to get that other character, so... Right, I want to avoid the Pegasus getting too close to the archer. Should actually look up the various characters' names, seems like a guy got just no, that's Roy, that's all we need to know for now. I don't want to charge Roy's headlong into combat, let's check it. So that one is susceptible, so he's out of range. Should I put him? I'll put him into the woods to this guy. I'll be a bit careful. I've done a put in two, so let's get the archer to shoot this chappie. And I'll get my dwarf here to come forward a bit. I don't want to attack with the... That hammer is actually an armor breaker weapon, so I don't want to use it against sort of standard troops. You want to make sure you use your... Early on, when you only have limited gear, you want to make sure you use the right equipment with the right characters. The last thing you want to do is use your really strongest swords on weak generic troops. That's just asking for trouble against bosses. It there. Like I said, I'm baiting them with these characters, so admittedly you don't want to do too much baiting because your characters can get, even characters who are strong to units can get worn down over time. The other thing is you do want to make sure you split out the XP equally, so characters that are lagging behind, you do need to make sure they start killing and injure characters. You don't want your Lord being the weakest character as you start to head towards the final battle. Because often is the case, you will need your, particularly like the main character, to actually beat the final boss. For instance, in Path of Radiant, there was a particular battle where basically if you wanted to win a certain battle, in fact I'll say about the battle, basically you had to fight the Black Knight, and it was basically a story driven battle that you couldn't actually, you technically weren't supposed to win, but you could win if you got your character strong enough. Now you basically were relying on two things. One, your random level up luck had been high and had been good enough so you actually maxed your levels, and secondly, that you actually got really good luck of the draw when you actually came to the battle itself. as I mentioned earlier, there is some absolutely fantastic animation in this game, so they really were pushing out the bounds. I think they could have done this on SNES as well, so quite nice touch in this one. Okay, let's get... I want to get the Pegasus guy out there, but don't want him to go head to head against the archer. But he'll actually finish the archer in one hit. He will. Actually, let's move into the house. Ah, this is that character we were just speaking to, or just seeing in the cutscene. Oh, obviously the other guy was the priest who took the children, and I assume they mentioned that this character would join us in the guide I was just looking at. He wants to join the fight. Yes, we've got a wizard. Great. So let's toast this guy, although it's slightly dangerous seeing as he could be injured by the archer, but okay, now I really am dicing with... Okay, so I can do 6 damage. Yeah, I'm not going to put him in there. Well, annoyingly I should have killed the archer before. That bow isn't going to kill him, it's just a second hit, fortunately, but that could be messy, so he's at 4, he's also at 4. Anyone badly injured? Caravan's staying there for now, actually move forward a little bit. Basically, we'll just leave this to the back here. The only thing you might not necessarily want to leave it right the way behind all your other units in case you get reinforcements on a stage, because often, as in Shining Force 3, you will... In fact, I think Fire Emblem had reinforcements long before, but basically, as in the Shining Force series, you will get reinforcements coming, and the last thing you want is for a unit to be stuck out in the middle of nowhere and suddenly reinforcements appear right next to it, so it's always handy to have... Be in distance of rescue is what I would say. Wizard is going to take a bit of a battle this next turn. Yeah, the villains in Fire Emblem always have that crazy look about them, which is one of the other things that's very predictable about the series. They always have menacing dark colours, armour, look evil. It's just a classic sort of trope that the Fire Emblem series often overly uses, where your villains all look like they're insane megalomaniacs, and it's just a bit bland, to be honest. You sometimes want your villains to look a bit more interesting and actually have them a bit more sympathetic as well, because often in conflicts you can understand why the two sides are at war and people involved in the conflict don't necessarily agree with it, but are fighting for their various reasons. And it would be nice if the Fire Emblem did that, where you actually pit characters against each other who wouldn't necessarily be enemies in real life, but the circumstances surrounding what's happened is why they're again having to fight one another. Okay, so he's got some pretty tough bodyguards, and he's riding a dragon. And the dragon guys also run off, so it's just basically another guy in a suit. Okay, this is where I get a bit nervous. Let's hope that archer doesn't get a second attack for us. Okay, so I now need to actively kill... I either need to kill the archer or I need to rescue my new character, else he will be going with the dodo pretty quickly. Yes, I've just rescued the archer there, the mage there, because I was a bit concerned he might be in a spot of bother if I left him. There's one of my slight gripes with Pegasus is they do tend to be very weak defensively. Although you can move them all over the map, you end up having to basically be very closeted with how you move them, because the minute they go out into even remote strapes of combat, they stand a chance of being killed by archers or enemy fire very, very quickly. So there are a couple of units that I think they've overplayed the weaknesses. Yes, there should be weak for certain elements, but sometimes having units too weak to certain factions means you end up literally having to be very, very defensive with them. Yes, they did actually attack me through a solid wall there. Actually got a guy at the back one. Cavalier at the back there, so I'll just move him there. So this is what I mean about characters being not leaving out in the middle of the open. So we've got that knight running around the back of the arena. If he comes round, and I'd left my... He comes round... This guy comes round this side, then I need to be a bit on guard, because if I leave the caravan out the back here and that guy comes in and he's within, because that's not a combat character, he's going to get slaughtered. That's another healing staff. I need to give that one of the staffs. There's a couple of them as teleport, magic, and different types of healing spells. So, okay. She can give our mage here a heal. He's probably actually going to need a second heal as well, because his health is really quite low. So again, I actually want to just test, so that's the furthest. So basically I want to move my characters related to where I know they can attack. So that way he's out of range. So I'm just going to be careful now how I move them. So we've got a couple of characters. See there, we again moved them in. I'm going to move the mage there. I'm actually going to heal the mage up because although I've already healed him, mages have incredibly low health and I just don't want to leave him even remotely vulnerable. So I always make sure, because you never know when an enemy's going to get a critical hit, and usually characters like mages you'll often find they'll get 13, 14 hit points of damage in one critical hit alone, so you want to ensure they're well defended. So he's got a staff now, I probably fix the mage, but I think that's another healing staff he was given. I think it's a different staff to the other one. Now, this is where I've got to be really careful. These guys will be in attack range in the next turn, so I want to make sure I want to move in, but I want to move in so that I can still control the fight. Everything about Fire Emblem is always about controlling the fight. So as you can see there, Pegasus Boy is absolutely pretty napped at the minute. I've also realised I've made a bit of a mistake with Roy. He needs another sword because I'm currently using his special one, and although that's incredibly powerful, that has, when I last checked, about 5 charges left, so I'm going to need another sword with Roy, unfortunately. I'm actually probably slightly overly relying on the dwarven guys at the minute with their axes. Well, usually they're actually bandits or pirates, so... Right, this guy's a spear guy, isn't he? Yeah. I'm in trouble. I think he can't go that fast, so... Let's move the thief there. The thief hasn't actually been able to do a lot yet, and I'll move Roy to there. Just get her in. So basically, you shouldn't explain the units. So you have basically sword masters here. You have Pegasus knights, bandits, and sort of, I call them dwarves. Really, they're like pirateers and bandits. Usually they are thieves, which can open chests. Your knights can ride cavalry. In some games, they can actually dismount off the horse as well, but usually they're fast-moving. Archers, and then we've got healers and clerics. And in this case mages. There are of course other types. A couple of games have unique classes as well in the Fire Emblem. So this guy here is a heavy armour as well. Heavy armours are of course powerful characters but slow to move. I might actually let my heavy armour catch up for a turn. This one, I mean, you have got to watch characters occasionally, and characters like that running around at the back. You don't want to be caught off guard by a unit, and he is actually going to come round. So the heavy armor is just sitting there. My thief, I need him to open those treasure chests. Actually, move the caravan there. I'll move the wizard there. I'll move the archer there. So him to there. Now let's see. Basically what I'm going to do is he's going to move to here, and then I'm going to surprise him with these two. Probably should save the archer as well. Okay. So yes, the one thing you never have to worry about in Fire Emblem is actually basically being too slow. You can always take your time in every battle and set up traps because of this. So as you can see there, I now have the advantage where I can attack this guy. He can't even damage my heavy armour. So I'll just let the two of them duke it out then. See if he can attack in the next turn. Gotta be careful because you see there, always check the movement, never ever move units where they can actually be flanked, or else, especially units like the wizard, archer, low defense units are just asking for trouble. So again, I'm using a bait tactic there, using the paladin to attract the armor, although again he's just wiped out the armor in single goes. This is what I mean about you have to just watch it with your paladin characters. They can be brutally hard and they will stop the other characters getting XP, so I want my heavy duty armor to beat this guy here just to get the XP. They've been duking it out for a little while now. Oh, we've got 76% chance to hit. Yes, there he goes. The other guy had previously run to the woods and he gets a level up. That's what I like to see. And you do want to keep an eye on your level ups because you want to make sure they do get a relatively decent level up. So you see there we've got. So this is our champion. It's fairly mundane. Again, he's got a spear so he can throw. Actually, look for all the remaining. There's not many enemy units now, so we're pretty much near mopping up time. What I'll do is I'll probably finish this stream at the end of this battle, so that gives you a good sample of a couple of battles in this. I'm hopeful it will re-show the end of the first battle. I can't guarantee anything in the stream, so I'll have to see what the stream's like when I watch it back later. With my sword guys in position, and basically I'm going to surprise. I basically want it so that my dwarves can reach. Dwarves out there because he's leaving them vulnerable too. Probably leave the caravan at the back here now because I think he's good. And let's just poke the bear and see what happens. Okay, again, that was a really good level up as I got 5 points. You want to avoid getting level ups that are only like 2, 1 or 0 points. You really always want to make sure you get a minimum of 3 upgrades. So I've basically got 2 armors, so again, he's going to have to be hit him with the armor. side there, just to act as a barrier. Pegasus is really annoying. As I said, he's just so weak at the moment, so you can't really put him into the boss fights. So I suspect the armours are going to stay there, so I'm probably going to get Mateys with the armour cracker out. Let's get them forward just so they can see if I can get them. Armours are usually weak to magic and probably strong to the guys, but I want to try and get them some battle experience. Who's the weakest character? 4, 3. So you see there, I've been avoiding levelling up the paladin character. Mage is 1, Feast 1. Yeah, so the 3 characters, the newish ones, are probably the hardest ones to level up. And I can't really throw them into the final battle because they're going to go basically the battle against the boss at the end because they're going to get slaughtered. So let's see what the enemy does. And yeah, goaded again. Put my mage and put magic on this guy. Lovely little magic animation there, and yeah, gets a ton of experience. Oh, he actually needs a heal. Ho hum, as you can imagine, I didn't mean to do that, but never mind. In fact, I might as well I won't throw anyone into combat with this guy just yet, so let's just end his turn again. A bit annoying me because that was a bit of a waste of stuff, and and their buddy's on the throne, so he gets 3 additional defense, he's 30 avoidance. Now I need my thief to open the chests here, so move him into position. See what happens when I do this. Is the other knight going to move? No, he's going to stay there. In fact, I'm willing to bet if I move, even if I move the weakest character position, he's going to stay there the whole time. So I can literally just leave him there. I've just moved him there as precautionary in case anything goes peaked on, so to speak. Move him down as well. Okay, he does have a spear, but I will risk it. Put him in. So 9 damage, and my guy gets 2 attack, even if he takes a hit. That's a miss. 1 left. Let's see if the archer can finish the job. So I get 2 hits. So this is the thing. So 19 damage. My guy's got 19 HP. He will do 1 damage but get 2 attacks. That's times 2. 91% chance to hit, and I can't remember what is that, luck or something? But yeah, that 1 damage was all he needed. Now that's not a good level up. Let's see there, 1 HP. That's a really bad level up. And if I was playing this properly, I would actually probably, well, I think you might take 1 or 2 bad level ups, but you don't want to take too many. So let's just get him. Just get an axe there. I'm just gonna. I didn't mean to do that. Excuse me. It's actually getting quite late here in the UK. It's now 11:30, so. But I hope you've all been enjoying this stream. It's going a bit longer, but I did start it a little bit later thanks to not pressing the going live button. So what I'm going to do is basically get the other guys to do this did before, where I armor crack him. But before I armor crack him, I will get. I'll just get rid of this guy. Oh, 3,000 gold, that's nice. That'll be helping me buy some new equipment next time. So, here's the interesting. So, Roy's still got his Uber sword in it. I might use that on the boss this time around. What I want to do is he's got the armor crack stuff. But as he's got a spear, I have to be really careful, because if I make one wrong move, he's going to kill half my party. So you are having to move certain characters in position to deal with the bosses, because at this stage, early on, I mean later on, you can usually the characters all go sort of try and go. So I've got the armor crack. Just how much would Roy do if I do? So I get 2 attack, do 5. Now this is the thing, he would do 16 damage to Roy in the counter. So that Roy's HP at the minute. So yeah, basically I could get 1. Basically the only way I would do this is if it's the last attack on the boss, but the problem is because it's a range, I'm not going to get a chance to do that, because only one opponent can attack him at any one point in time. And I guarantee if I throw the archer in, now the mage can probably do damage, but everyone else is probably not going to be able to. Just see there. So again, he can't attack back with that weapon, but he can swap to the spear and do some damage. Again, my guy can't do any damage, so me using him is utterly pointless. I do want to make sure my healer is in rescue range. I actually need to keep so again, he'll do 4 damage and he won't be able to attack back, but I guarantee you he'll pretty much kill him in order to. The minute I wait a turn, he'll then swap weapons and just instantly kill him. So 2 damage, which he'll heal up. So basically I've got the armor crack and my paladin, and that's pretty much it. And Roy. So as that infamous comedy video that they made up, Leroy Jenkins said, they had a comedy sketch where a guy pretends to be someone called Leroy Jenkins. Let's do this! Leroy Jenkins! 28%. So if... Jesus, this is going to go. So I have a 28% chance of hitting him. He has a 40% chance of hitting me and doing 16 damage. He got 32. No, so if 2 retaliatories, he will actually kill him. Brilliant. What's my paladin here? 9, so he'll do 11. Oof. Yeah, let's do this. Oh dear, that's not a way I want to start turn. Oh great, he's going to finish him with a super. So yes, there we go again. My paladin character has just absolutely slaughtered the boss again. And let's move forward. I don't think there's anything else. We've got the chests. At least got the gold. We've got the loot. Let us capture the centre. And there's Hector, slightly worse for wear, but still alive. If we rescued him. Okay everyone, I'm going to finish there. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. We've gone through Fire Emblem. I will actually correct the ratio next time. I'll have a figure, slight adjust with the configure settings, see if I can stretch the high fidelity one. If not, I'll just use the standard one. The reason I use the high fidelity one is that it actually looks a bit nicer, but it's annoying the fact that it's not putting into proper 16:9, it's putting it into 4:3 and then you have to stretch it. 16:9, the proper ratio. We're still only relatively new at doing this streaming stuff, so I'll iron out the kinks and complain to YouTube about the going live needs to be made much more clearer. And it's the second time I've done that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this live stream, me looking at giving you some tips on Fire Emblem. I mean, yeah, I've not actually played this that much before. Literally, I've done the bit of the first chapter, so this is actually the furthest I've played through it. But as you can see there, my Fire Emblem skills still hold true, and the tactics I've developed over the many years of playing Fire Emblem games and Shining Force games and quite a lot of other games have given me the advantage too. Just like the opening start of this play out and then I will finish off. Thanks for watching. Really enjoy your company as always, people. I've enjoyed this. Please do let us know what you think of the streams. Leave comments, likes, etc. Thanks for watching. I will finish for now. I'll just wait till we finish out this cutscene till we get to the next battle. So here we are, chapter 4, so that's the first. Yeah, we missed the apologies, I don't know whether the start of the first stream will be in playback was a bit of the first. I didn't actually show the opening cutscene stuff. I think it was a bit of a long chat thing. Just wanted to get straight into games. I thought, as I've got a save file already. But yeah, those tactics are usually what I use for the large majority of the game. There are a few other things you can do. You do have to plan ahead with Fire Emblem, and in these earlier ones you do have to, unfortunately, eventually stick to the same team once you can start picking units, because if you try and spread the XP around too much, you won't be able to level your characters, and that's one of the core flaws with Fire Emblem. You will lose out on XP. Because there isn't generally enough to go around in the earlier games. In the later games, like Awakening, where you can actually fight enemies on the map all the time, XP is not a problem. And that's what I really like about Awakening. They did do some really nice ideas for it. It's just a shame the story wasn't bad, and the couple after it, they used the same system as Awakening, but Awakening was what I'd call a flawed game. It had a number of improvements, but it wasn't quite up there with a few of the others. As you can see there, more warring houses, etc., and we're about to duke battle with them all. I'll just let this sequence play out for our Japanese users who can probably read Japanese, and those of you who can read, so that we can see the start of this one. And I'll save it for another time. Should actually go through and do some proper videos of some of these games we've been covering, although the thing with Nintendo videos is they do like you to provide your own take on it, so that hence why they're actually quite good to live stream, because I can chat about the games we're watching. Unfortunately I can't, we respect Nintendo's policies, so we do, it means the standard video ones we will have to voice over. So I can see that we've got quite a large force to deal with this time around. This is going to be a straightforward field battle, unlike the last one, which was a castle assault. We've got a proper run to the castle where basically it's just going to be forces, and I suspect there'll be a few twists and turns in the way. Anyway, that's the map, and this is Suspend. And there's Anne, who's been a caveat for the series for quite some time as well. Yes, I do want to Suspend. Back to the title stream. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this stream. I have been your host, Random Gamer Riven. Please do hit that like button. Please do hit that sub button if you haven't already subscribed. I expect most of you watching this stream are already subscribers. And we will see you tomorrow with a look at the Mega Man Anniversary Collection on the stream. Thank you everyone, and have a good night or a good day, depending where you are in the world.